Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 4 of What If Naruto Had Would release. If you guys enjoyed this What If and want to see part 5 of it, comment down below and let me know. Also check out previous parts of this What If. I have created a playlist for this What If where you can find all the previous parts, link is in the description. And go ahead and check out other What Ifs in the channel. Before we start, please do support for more awesome content. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and like this video and share this video with your friends. So let's start this video. It had been about 3 hours since the start of the exam. Team 7 was leaping high above the ground, from treetop to treetop. Team 7 eventually came to a stop as Naruto landed in the middle of a clearing. "Naruto, why did you stop?" asked Sasuke as he landed next to Naruto. Naruto put a hand behind his head and turned around with a sheepish look. "I have to pee." "I told you to go before we left," said Sasuke, as he pinched his nose. "Give me the scroll. Don't need you to get ambushed." Naruto handed Sasuke the team's Earth scroll. Naruto was about to take off until he heard Sakura voice her concerns. "Why Sasuke-kun? Naruto's still the strongest. He'd have a better chance going against a whole team than me and you together," said Sakura before she saw Naruto shiver slightly. Naruto looked towards Sakura with a creeped out look. "Sakura-chan, I would freeze up. That's a fear of mine. Fighting someone with my junk out." Naruto shivered once more. "I've never pissed the same since Kakashi-sensei brought that up." Naruto disappeared into the wilderness as Sasuke and Sakura conversed for a bit. About 4 minutes later, Naruto appeared back in the clearing. "Yo guys, I'm back. Let's get to this," said Naruto as he landed. Sasuke nodded as Sakura said, "Naruto, you didn't give me a kiss before you left. What? Am I not your girlfriend anymore?" said Sakura with a pout. Naruto looked shocked for a second until he said, "Sorry Sakura-chan. Slipped my mind." Naruto puckered up and leaned in for a kiss. Instead of lips, he met a foot. That foot was a part of Sasuke's leg. "Whoa, what's going on Sasuke?" said Naruto as the kick sent him sailing back. Sasuke looked bored as he said, "You're a terrible henge user first off. Naruto has 3 stripes, not 2 on his sleeves. Secondly, Naruto would have dodged that kick, you trash ninja. Thirdly, we already knew you were here. Naruto's a censor, he found all 3 of you. Him saying he had to pee alerted us to your presence. Me and Sakura made that girlfriend thing up to test for the real Naruto and sadly, you failed," finished Sasuke as Naruto looked shocked. Sasuke then tied up the hurt Naruto. "1 kick and you're already finished. You must not dance well." Not a second after Sasuke finished speaking, 2 Omagakure Genin came flying into the clearing. Though they were unconscious and tied up, another Naruto followed after them as he came jumping back into view with his teammates. Naruto handed Sasuke 100 Ryu as he said, "Damn, I was too slow. Shouldn't have taken that piss." Naruto dropped his henge, "Seems we were careless," said the now revealed Omagakure Genin. Naruto showed his teammates the Earth scroll he acquired from the Ame Genin he was facing. "Seems it is useless. But the more scrolls we have, the less people who pass." "Sorry," finished Naruto as he knocked the last Genin out cold. After tying the Ame Genin to a tree, Team 7 was once again jumping through the forest. About 30 minutes later, they made contact with another team. "And a huge snake." "That's a big snake," said Naruto, surprised he couldn't sense it beforehand. The snake's ambush took Naruto far away from his teammates as they disappeared through the forest. Sasuke and Sakura were immediately on edge when they noticed the 3 Kusagakure Genin standing in front of them. It was the creepy-looking girl again. She said, "You two, deal with the Senju kid. Kill him if you can. I'll deal with these 2. Following orders, both Kusagakure Genin disappeared, following Naruto and the snake summon. Upon seeing the 2 of the ninjas leave, Sasuke asked a question. "Seems you're the leader. So which scroll do you have?" The Kusagakure Genin pulled out a heaven scroll. "You want my heaven scroll, right? Since you have an Earth scroll." "Well," said the Genin as she swallowed her scroll, "let's battle for the scrolls. With our lives." With Naruto. Naruto was taken for a ride by the snake, eventually ending up nearly a mile away from Sasuke and Sakura before stopping. "I couldn't even sense that snake until it was too late, plus it popped up out of nowhere. That means it is a summon. Snake summons usually mean something bad if they're from the guy I think they're from," thought Naruto. Naruto had to dodge the snake as it lashed at him in an attempt to eat the golden blonde Genin. "I need to get back to my teammates. It seems that separating us was on purpose. I have no time to play around," thought Naruto. He put his hand in a half-ram seal and channeled some chakra. Underneath the snake were a dozen explosive notes. Naruto had dropped them when he evaded the snake's lunge. Boom. "Wow, that was huge. That snake is gone for real," said Naruto. Naruto whipped out a kunai as he blocked a strike from the arrival of a Kusagakure Genin. "Seems you're pretty good. However, there are 2 of us," said the Genin who was clashing kunai with Naruto. Naruto looked shocked as he spotted the other Genin. "Hello Naruto Senju. We are here to end you. Our leader said you must die, so be gone." said the Genin not clashed with Naruto. That Genin pulled out a sword as he lunged at Naruto. The sword pierced Naruto cleanly through the stomach. The two Genin smirked at the sight of Naruto's facial expressions, but those smirks dropped when they noticed Naruto turn into mud. Both Genin felt a hand grab their leg. Earth style. Double suicide decapitation technique, said Naruto underneath both Genin. He then proceeded to drag both Genin up to their necks in the ground. Thank you, Kakashi-sensei, thought Naruto as he popped out of the ground behind the two immobilized Genin. Seems I am pretty good, said Naruto as he took the sword dropped by the Genin. Before I kill you, who's this letter out to kill me? Asked Naruto as he faced one of the Genin. I won't tell you anything you know has scum. You may as well. Started the Genin until Naruto cut him off by piercing him through the eye, killing him immediately. Well then. On to you. Who do you work for? I may not kill you if you tell me, said Naruto as he stared at the remaining Genin. The Genin was absolutely terrified. He had just killed him. Legitimately killed him, no torture, nothing. He had no chance at all. He wasn't going to make the same mistake. He needed to live. Orochimaru, said the Genin trembling. I figured as much, said Naruto as he killed the Genin as well. I do not like killing, but it is necessary. I will kill any traitor to the Leaf or anyone who works for that traitor, said Naruto as he channeled a massive amount of chakra. He was gone in a high-powered shunshin. With Sasuke and Sakura. The Kusagakure ninja pulled down her eyelid as she said, let's begin. Sasuke and Sakura were immediately assaulted by visions of their death. The visions were so shocking that they were both paralyzed immediately. Is this a genjutsu? Thought Sasuke in a panic. No, this is just killing intent. The intent is so powerful that it's induced fear on this scale. We have to get out of here. Seems neither of you can move. Pitiful, said the Kusagakure ninja as she threw two kunai at Sasuke's and Sakura's heads. Sasuke had somehow managed to take out a kunai, which he proceeded to use for stabbing his own leg. That shock to his system enabled his body to respond to his commands. He immediately rescued Sakura while dodging both kunai, and fled behind a nearby tree. The Kusagakure ninja smiled slightly. He stabbed himself in the leg to allow himself control over his body. Seems he is more special than I thought. After being rescued, Sakura looked to Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, you saved. Sasuke placed a hand over Sakura's mouth, keeping her from talking, and potentially giving away their position. He then placed a finger over his mouth in a shushing way. We must run before we are found again. Where is Naruto? He'd really be of help in this situation, thought Sasuke. So, into his thoughts, he barely dodged the snake that had appeared in between him and Sakura. Damn it, I was panicked so much that I forgot to check my surroundings. Now she's found us again. The snake then opened its jaws as the Kusagakure Genin appeared coming out. Sasuke threw a dozen kunai into his mouth to catch the ninja off guard. It was all for naught as the Genin just burst out of the side of the snake. You shouldn't relax for even a moment. Prey should always try to run in a predator's presence, said the Genin as she slithered towards Sasuke. However, before she could get there, she halted due to a barrage of shuriken landing in between her and Sasuke. Sorry Sasuke. Didn't mean to take so long, said Naruto as he landed on a nearby branch. Naruto, said Sakura relieved at his arrival. That meant he had dealt with his opposition, and he looked relatively unharmed. Must have been easy. Should have known he'd be here so soon. Those useless idiots stood no chance against him, thought the Kusanin. Naruto. This ninja is way too advanced to just be a Genin. She's on a totally different level than anything we've ever faced. We need to run away, said Sasuke. He looks like you successfully defeated that giant snake and my two teammates, Naruto-kun, said the Kusanin. Yeah. She is Orochimaru, thought Naruto before he said, seems you're picking on Genin now, Orochimaru-san. What makes you think that I'm Orochimaru? Questioned the Kusanin. The snake summoned it first. Only Konoha held that contractor used to as Orochimaru took it away. Secondly, the way you move is reminiscent of a snake. Meaning you use the Hibi-style taijutsu taught by the snakes, which Orochimaru uses. But you could have taught someone those things. So, I finally had your lackeys confirm my suspicions before I killed them. Finished Naruto as he made eye contact with Sasuke's Sharingan for a moment. The Kusanin showed no outward reaction at the deduction, but inwardly grew pleased. That kid is incredible. To be able to deduce things so easily, and with only one look. That's thinking on a level fit for a cage. He's too good. Even getting the information out of my subordinates that fast. Boy must have incredible talent. If only his body could be mine. That damnable Bijuru would possibly mess up my transfer. And even my curse seal. Too bad, looks like I'll have to dispose of him as he'll become a major threat in the future. Or maybe I could get him to side with me. Thought Orochimaru still disguised as the Kusanin. Orochimaru the S-rank missing nin from Konoha. One of the legendary Sanin, we stand no chance. I'll just give him the scroll, Naruto already has another Earth scroll, so why bother with him? Thought Sasuke as he took out the Earth scroll. Here, I will give you the scroll. Please. Take it and leave us, said Sasuke, as he tossed the scroll toward Orochimaru. The scroll only made it halfway, when Naruto snatched it out of the air. Instead of a lecture of why Sasuke was a punk, Orochimaru became shocked to see a fireball coming his way. They tricked me. They knew I'd be expecting Naruto to scold Sasuke, but it was actually a feint. A feint to hide Sasuke, long enough for him to fire off a jutsu. How did he tell him the plan? Pondered Orochimaru before it hit him. When they made eye contact, Sasuke must have placed him under genjutsu to figure out a plan. Fantastic teamwork, thought Orochimaru as he easily evaded the fireball. Impressive you two, I expected no less, said Orochimaru as he bit his thumb, and ran it along a tattoo on his arm, which was really a seal. Summoning jutsu, said Orochimaru, slamming his hand on the ground. Another huge snake appeared with Orochimaru atop its head, as it stared menacingly out at the three genin in front of him. Not this again, said Naruto as he dodged the snake's assault at him. Shit, thought Naruto. Dodging the snake placed him right where Orochimaru wanted him, and the snake Sannin took full advantage. Orochimaru threw a jaw-breaking punch that leveled Naruto's entire body. Upon being viciously punched by Orochimaru, instead of his jaw cracking from the punch, Naruto converted into mud that dispersed immediately from the haymaker. The placement. Amazing, said Orochimaru as he turned to see Naruto slice into the snake's head with the sword he had from the Kusa-genin from earlier. That shouldn't have happened with that piece of junk sword that Flinky had. So how did he cut through? I see, he used wind chakra to slice into the snake's head. He's more impressive than I thought. Orochimaru, upon seeing his snake being sliced into, took off for Sasuke. Let's see what you do, Sasuke-kun, thought Orochimaru as he approached Sasuke rapidly. That assault stopped upon a yellow flash appeared in his face. Naruto had performed a shunshin and threw out a speedy kick to Orochimaru's face. That kick, despite its speed and abruptness, was blocked and grabbed by Orochimaru. That was an incredibly fast shunshin. He actually almost had me there, thought Orochimaru as he smiled. If this boy joins me, he'll be one hell of an asset. If he opposes, I'll kill him before he gets the chance to ruin my ambition. For now, I need him out of the way so I can get to Sasuke. Orochimaru then extended his tongue to restrain Naruto. Naruto grew shocked at the strength of the tongue as he found himself completely immobilized. Damn, that was a mistake trying to catch him off guard. He's a Sannin and at one point, was in the running for Hokage. This'll hurt, thought Naruto as Orochimaru slammed 5 fingers into his gut before Naruto had the chance to use the Kyuubi's chakra. 5-element seal, thought Orochimaru. Naruto immediately fell into a deep sleep after its application. He was then cast away to the forest floor as Orochimaru turned to Sasuke and Sakura. Back to just 2, show me what you made of Sasuke-kun, said Orochimaru. Sasuke looked spooked that Naruto could be so easily beaten. If he could beat Naruto, then what chance did he have? Naruto always won their spars, so he was clearly no match for Orochimaru. Slap. Sasuke looked shocked to see Sakura slap him. What are you doing, Sasuke? Stop acting like a punk. What would Naruto do if he was in your situation? He wouldn't sit there doing nothing, thinking he was going to die. He'd fight to the end. He's not a coward like you. You're just trying to run and cling to your life. Now man up and kick his ass. I'm gonna check on Naruto, said Sakura as she fell down to the forest floor to check on Naruto. Sasuke was shocked from what he heard Sakura say. She had never spoken to him like that, let alone struck him. It finally snapped in Sasuke when she said he was running and clinging to his life. That was what Itachi told him to do on the day of the massacre. Maybe Itachi was right, he should run away. No, he wouldn't back down. He had to fight and protect his team. He wasn't going to die here, he still had so much to do. Sakura is right. I have acted like a coward. But no more, if I can't defeat you. How can I ever hope to defeat him? Said Sasuke as he closed his eyes. I will protect my friends and teammates. I am Sasuke Uchiha and I'm going to kick your ass. Finished Sasuke as he opened his eyes. Upon opening them, Sasuke's Sharingan shifted slightly as a third Tomo appeared in both eyes. Haha. Seems the blood of his clan is beginning to boil. His third Tomo has appeared. Impressive, thought Orochimaru. Show me what you can do. Sasuke pulled out a myriad of throwing weapons and flung them at Orochimaru. Despite that, Orochimaru easily slithered out of the way to avoid all of them. I can see, thought Sasuke as he saw Orochimaru's movements perfectly. I can see his movements so clearly now. Sasuke flung another shuriken at Orochimaru, who jumped out of the way. Orochimaru had to dodge again as Sasuke flung another kunai directly at him. Seems he can see me now. He's reading my movements perfectly and aiming for vital areas, thought Orochimaru before he noticed Sasuke pull a string. Sasuke pulled a couple more strings as every projectile he tossed came flying back to wrap around Orochimaru. The strings wrapped around Orochimaru and pinned him to a tree. Manipulating windmill triple blades, thought Orochimaru before he saw Sasuke go through forehand seals. A huge stream of fire appeared and fired off down the string at Orochimaru. Fire style, fire dragon technique, said Sasuke. The powerful stream of fire blew out the back of the tree with Orochimaru in the middle of it. Sasuke blew out a sigh as he thought it was over. He turned around to head towards Naruto and Sakura when he paused at a voice. Just perfect. To be able to use your Sharingan so well at this age. You'll be everything I need, said Orochimaru. The jutsu from earlier managed to burn half of his face off to reveal another underneath. What? How did he survive that? Thought Sasuke before he realized he couldn't move. Not again. Sasuke-kun. I had fun testing your abilities. You and Itachi are truly brothers. Though I can tell you have a higher ceiling than him, said Orochimaru. Orochimaru threw up his heaven scroll and then proceeded to burn it in his palm. Are you really Orochimaru of the Sannin? Asked Sasuke, struggling to move his body. Yes, I am. Naruto-kun already figured that out. Of course he's better than you, so it's not far-fetched to see him figure it out faster. However, I can give you the power you want. The power to surpass Naruto and kill Itachi, said Orochimaru as he placed his hands in a unique tiger seal. Orochimaru's neck stretched out far towards Sasuke as he bit down on his neck. After a few moments, Orochimaru removed his teeth from Sasuke's neck and recoiled his neck back to its original length. The black seal, that took the shape of 3 tomo, began to appear on the back of Sasuke's neck. After its appearance, Sasuke immediately screamed in pain. Eventually Sasuke blacked out from the pain and anguish of the new seal. Sasuke will seek me for power. He'll need my guidance to ever hope to catch Naruto Senju, thought Orochimaru as he looked down at the prone Naruto. I would kill him myself as he could throw a wrench in my plans, but then the Akatsuki will come after me for tampering with their property. So he'll live today. I'll let the Sound Trio in these exams handle those two. Maybe I can get both to join, though one would be more than enough. Orochimaru then sunk into a tree to leave the area. One day later, it had been a day since Team 7's encounter with Orochimaru. Sakura had retrieved Sasuke and taken him and Naruto to a clearing. Naruto and Sasuke were still unconscious, though from yesterday's run-in with Orochimaru. Sakura had administered first aid and medical ninjutsu to help, but sadly, she wasn't advanced enough to awaken them. She could only keep them underneath a tree as she waited for any sign of them waking. Sakura had set traps in the area to make sure her teammates remained safe for when enemies showed up while she wasn't alert. A squirrel appeared in the area, and Sakura fired a kunai at it. The squirrel had almost set off a trap prematurely, and luckily, she scared it enough to get it away from the area. Sakura then had a heart attack as she heard a voice whisper. Sakura-chan, don't acknowledge that I'm awake. There's an explosive note on that squirrel. Meaning there are enemies in the area. Whatever Orochimaru did to me affected me good as I can feel my chakra going haywire. I wouldn't be of much help to you, said Naruto. Must have been the seal he placed on me. Placing an odd number seal over an even number seal creates an imbalance. I can't even talk to Kurama. I need to find a way to get this off, thought Naruto as he remained still. Shortly after Naruto's announcement, 3 new arrivals appeared in the clearing. It was a trio from Sound. Hello. Have you been up all night? Asked the mummy of the group as his teammates flanked him on both sides. But don't worry, you can rest now. I, Dosu, and my teammates, Zaku and Kin, are here to kill Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Senju. Sakura, be careful. I'll help you as best I can, said Naruto before he felt another presence rapidly approaching. I know Orochimaru is pulling the strings, said Sakura as the Sound Trio looked shocked. What does he want with Sasuke-kun and Naruto? What is this mark on Sasuke-kun's neck? Asked Sakura as she pulled out a kunai. I wonder what he's thinking, said Dosu as he pondered Orochimaru's thought process. You give the kid a cursed seal, but want to kill him. Oh well, they were here to kill them, so that's what they'll do. It doesn't matter. We were given orders to kill those two, and I'm going to do it. I'll even kill this girl, said Sakura. He was about to run toward her when Dosu stopped him. Wait, Sakura. She set a booby trap. That's why she threw that kunai at the squirrel. You didn't notice the explosive note, you were just protecting your pitiful trap. You're a talentless girl who should have left to save her own life. Kill her, said Dosu as the trio jumped over the trap. The trap proved to be fake as Sakura smirked while cutting a wire next to her. That wire triggered a huge log to come barreling toward the airborne trio. However, Sakura's smirk dropped when the log exploded from Dosu merely touching it. As I said, you're a talentless girl. People like you have to work harder to face guys like us, said Dosu as he and his team were still heading for Sakura. Their progress stopped short of Sakura as several well-placed kicks from a green blur ended their approach. Before wind came the voice and arrival of Rock Lee as he landed in front of Sakura. I guess you guys should work harder as well, said Lee as he stood in the beginning stance of the Goken fighting style. Who are you? Asked Dosu. I am Konoha's beautiful green beast, Rock Lee, said Lee as he then addressed Sakura. Do not fear, Sakura-chan. I will protect you with my life. I'll always be there when you're in trouble. Sakura became shocked when she realized Lee was assisting her. Well, thank you for saving me and my team, said Sakura as Rock Lee nodded before turning back toward the sound trio. Zaku, you take out Sasuke and Naruto. They're both down, so it should not fail to get past the girl, said Dosu as he tossed a heaven scroll to Zaku. I'll take the new guy. Rock Lee wanted to face all three of them at the same time. But due to Dosu's jutsu, his attention needed to be focused squarely on him. Sorry Guy-sensei, I'll have to use that move. I can't let Sakura-chan get hurt, thought Lee as he unwrapped his bandages slightly. Lee vanished to appear underneath Dosu, and kicked him under his chin. The kick launched Dosu into the air, where Lee appeared behind him. Dosu then found himself wrapped up in bandages, and tilted headfirst toward the ground. Front lotus, said Lee as he hugged Dosu, and plummeted them toward the ground. When he smashed Dosu into the ground though, it felt odd. Heh, seems I made it just in time, said Zaku as he had his hands planted into the ground. He had pushed air into the dirt to create a softer landing for Dosu. To think that technique was still that powerful, even on a sponge surface, said Dosu as he got up. However, it's my turn. Finished Dosu as he charged at Rock Lee. This is bad. My bodies. Thought Rock Lee as he dodged Dosu's punch. He was still stricken by his melody arm, the same as Kabuto. Rock Lee fell to a knee as the jutsu took effect. He looked up slightly in pain to see Dosu staring at him. You may move at high speeds, but our abilities move at the speed of sound. Dosu raised his arm as he said, I'll show you a wall that you can't surpass with hard work alone. Before Dosu could strike down Lee, a yellow flash appeared. Along with that flash, was a high-speed kick that sent Dosu sailing past his team into the woods behind them. Sorry for my tardiness, said Naruto as he placed his leg back down. It took a while to gather the ability to use the technique. Thank you for protecting us, Lee. I'm grateful. Before anything else could start, a strong chakra burst into the clearing. Naruto turned to see Sasuke basked in a vile purple chakra. Sasuke also had black flame-like patterns appear on his skin. That's what Sakura meant by the mark he received from Orochimaru. Seems it gave him a power boost, but there has to be a catch to all that power, thought Naruto as he saw Sasuke stand and look at his surroundings. Sakura, said Sasuke as she looked happy to see him awake as well. However, Sasuke also noticed that Sakura looked to have been in a fight. And it was true, in the brief moment Lee was fighting with Dosu, Sakura had been going against the other two from sound. Who did that to you? Asked Sasuke. Zaku, wanting to goad Sasuke, responded with, I did chump. What are you going to do about it? Zaku placed his palms towards Sasuke and said, decapitating airwaves. A powerful stream of air blew towards Sasuke, ripping up the ground as it bellowed toward him. Once the dust cleared, Sasuke's body was nowhere to be found. Heh. He wasn't so tough. Now for the Senju, said Zaku, as he pointed his hands at Naruto. Fire style. Phoenix Sage Flower Jutsu, came the voice of Sasuke as a dozen fireballs flew towards Zaku. Zaku smirked and fired off another blast of wind to quell the flames, but did nothing to stop the shuriken hidden within. What? Said a surprised Zaku as the shuriken pierced him several times across his body. Upon putting down his guard, he found both of his arms held behind him with a foot pressed squarely into his back. This is for hurting Sakura. You seem to love these arms. So let's get rid of them, said Sasuke as he began to pull on Zaku's arms. Kin tried to help her teammate, but a swift chop to the back of her neck from Naruto sent her into unconsciousness. After hearing a sickening pop, Naruto had enough. Sasuke. Stop, said Naruto as Sasuke looked toward him. Naruto, this power. It's Orochimaru's. A traitor to the leaf gave you that power. Do you not think it comes without a price, Sasuke? You need to quit using it, said Naruto completely serious. Sasuke was feeling amazing. The power coursing through his body made him feel unstoppable. But Naruto was right. This power was corrupted, he could feel it attacking his will. Sasuke forced the seal to recede, just as Dosu came back into the clearing from Naruto's earlier kick. If you let us live, you can have our heaven scroll, said Dosu. Naruto looked at Dosu for a second, before he took the scroll from Zaku's injured form, and flung him back over to Dosu. Dosu grew shocked that they were getting off scot-free, and promptly disappeared with Kin and Zaku in tow. Sasuke looked at Naruto in disbelief. Naruto knew those guys worked for Orochimaru, so why did he just let them live? Naruto, why didn't we kill them? We know they work for Orochimaru. We could have done away with them right away. Would you agree? Said Sasuke before he heard an explosion. Naruto was holding a half-ram seal as he said, I never agreed. Sasuke smirked at Naruto's actions. He then activated his Sharingan when Naruto spoke again. I know you're here, Neji and Tenten. So come out, said Naruto as he then pointed to the opposite side of the clearing. You as well know Shikacho. Neji landed on a nearby tree branch along with Tenten. You should hand over all of your scrolls. And maybe we'll let you leave peacefully, spoke Neji confidently. You do realize that me, Sasuke, and Sakura-chan are fine, right? It's 3-on-2 and not to mention. Your teammate is wounded right here. What's to say I don't kill him now? Asked Naruto as Neji took the hint. He carefully walked over to Rock Lee and carried him out of the area with Tenzin. Neji did check Lee for an explosive note first before departing. "Naruto-kun, you were so amazing just now," said Ino as she was about to jump on Naruto when Shikamaru stopped her. "Ino, at this moment, Naruto is the enemy. He could have harmed you and taken our scroll just now if you went toward him. Be careful. He plans to negotiate with us since he called us out. So what do you have to say?" asked Shikamaru, wary about Naruto and his intentions. Can we team up to get to the finish? We're rather handicapped at the moment and need help getting to the tower. We have an earth scroll if you need it," said Naruto sheepishly with a laugh. "What?" asked Choji because Naruto had just threatened Eiji. "It was a bluff, Choji, and rather well played," said Shikamaru as he thought over teaming with arguably the best team in their class. "Fine, we'll team up. We do have a heaven scroll, so your extra earth scroll will get us into the tower as well. But now we have to watch our backs more since you two have hits out on you. Troublesome," finished Shikamaru as the group of 6 headed toward the tower. Several hours later. "What do you mean you never liked Sasuke-kun?" yelled Sakura. Ino laughed and said, "The only reason I pretended to like him was so you'd be more confident. With me as a rival you always did strive to be better, so that's why I did it. Plus Naruto is way better anyway," finished Ino with a smirk. She still could get Sakura's blood to boil. Is too troublesome," said Naruto as he realized something. "I see why you say that all the time, Shika," said Naruto, now on Choji's back piggyback style. Shikamaru had Sasuke on his back as he said, "Yeah. Having to carry you guys here is already bad enough. Now we have to listen to Ino and Sakura, bitch." "What?" said Ino and Sakura at same time as they looked murderous toward the Nara clan member. Shikamaru let out a sigh before speaking. "Troublesome. Looks like we are here," said Sasuke as he and Naruto climbed off their backs. They were still having trouble from their encounter with Orochimaru, both with their own respective seal. Adrenaline earlier allowed them to move to defeat the Sound Trio. After reading the message, Shikamaru and Naruto easily realized they had to open both the scrolls at the same time. The scrolls began to smoke as out popped Iruka. "Would I get summoned twice?" said Iruka before he realized there were 2 teams before him. "Oh, you guys work together, that's why. Well, congratulations you guys. You passed the 2nd exam. You still have 2 days left until the 3rd exam. So get some rest. You'll need it," finished Iruka with a smile. "All 3 rookie Genin teams passed so far. Amazing. Thank you," said Shikamaru as Team 10 walked off into the tower. Upon noticing Team 7 still standing there, Iruka voiced his question. "Why are you guys still?" He stopped when he saw them all have serious faces. "We need Jiji. Orochimaru is here." The Sandaime Hokage had rushed to see Team 7 when he became knowledgeable of the events that occurred in the Forest of Death. After a telling of the story from Naruto and Sasuke's perspective, Hiruzen made sure it was all correct. "So you were found by Orochimaru in the forest?" asked Hiruzen, to which Team 7 nodded. "He defeated you all, placed a curse seal on Sasuke, and just left with orders to his team to kill you both." After another nod, Hiruzen blew out a sigh. "Well, at least you all are still alive. Sasuke-kun, Kakashi has a plan to deal with your seal," said Hiruzen as Kakashi walked in with a yo. "He's going to place an evil sealing method on you to suppress the influence of the seal. However, due to the power of the cursed seal, it'll take your willpower to control how effective the Fujihoin is," finished Hiruzen as he saw Naruto smirk. "So basically, Sasuke got a hickey from a pedophile. That hickey is imbued with the pedophile's power. Kakashi is going to suppress the hickey's power to keep Sasuke from using said hickey." "Got it," said Naruto as Sasuke turned toward him with a glare. "I'm not gonna use this cursed seal. But it's nice to have an additional safeguard to keep the influence down. I don't need somebody else's power. I am an Uchiha," said Sasuke, turning toward Kakashi while also showing Naruto the Uchiha crest on his back. After Kakashi finished snickering at Naruto's hickey remark, he and Sasuke both exited the room to take care of his cursed seal. Sakura had left Naruto and Sasuke earlier to get some rest from staying up while they were incapacitated. It was just Naruto and Hiruzen left in the room. "Jiji," said Naruto as he lifted his mesh shirt and channeled some chakra to show off his seal. "Can you remove this seal? I didn't want to bring it up in front of my teammates because they don't know about my status yet, but Orochimaru placed it on me during our fight," finished Naruto as he was struck in the gut sharply by Hiruzen. "5 elements on seal," said Hiruzen as Naruto fell asleep again. "Of course I can, Naruto-kun. Now get some rest before the finals. I want to see you impress me, my dear boy." Hiruzen then picked up Naruto and took him to his room. After laying him down in his bed, the Sandaime disappeared back to his office to prep for the 3rd exam. 2 days later. The 2 days since Team 7 finished the test was relatively uneventful for Kakashi's Genins. Sasuke had his seal suppressed, and Naruto finally had control over his chakra again. Nothing else really happened besides that until today. Team 7 had been given instructions to go to an arena, where they were met by 5 other teams. The two of the rookie teams from Konoha, Team Guy, the Sans siblings, and Kabuto with his team. Seems there was only 18 genin left including them, and 15 were from Konoha. They were all situated in a huge arena with platforms on either side. On the platform directly facing them was the Hokage. Upon all of the genin arriving, Hiruzen addressed them with kindness. Congratulations to all the genin who have passed the second exam. Before you can continue to the third exam, I will now inform you on a few things, said Hiruzen. In years past, the Chunin exams were and still are a contest. The contest pitted each nation's aspiring Chunin in a duel between each other, to show their village's strength outside of wars. This final exam is observed by many people, including potential clients and daimyos all across the elemental nations. One does not have to win the tournament to be promoted to Chunin. Just display skills that may qualify them for promotion. Hiruzen was about to continue until he was interrupted by a sickly ninja with a prevalent cough. Excuse me Hokage-sama, if I may interject, I would like to take over from here. Asked the ninja as Hiruzen nodded. Hello all, I am Hayate Gecko, and I shall be your proctor for the third exam, said Hayate as he coughed a few times. Due to the number of you all, there will be preliminary matches immediately to dwindle the numbers. Finished Hayate as he was met with a complaint. One of Kabuto's teammates spoke up, we just got here 2 hours ago. Do we not get to rest first? No? Unfortunately, you will be handicapped, but those are the rules. After answering the genin's question, Hayate continued with, we will have one-on-one duels that will pit you against one another. Too many of you finished this time, so we must do this to weed some of you out. That way we'll finish with less than 10 competitors to begin the finals. Now is there anyone who would like to forfeit right now? Quitting now doesn't affect your team as you all are individuals from this point forward, asked Hayate as he only saw Kabuto's hand raise. You may leave, thank you for coming. After Kabuto departed, Hayate pointed to a monitor behind him. Now that that's settled, each of you has been placed into a randomizer that will display your names on the board in pairs. When your name shows up, whoever's name is on there as well shall be your opponent. You will battle each other until one of you quits, dies, or I roll it over due to tire your inability to continue. My word is law and if I say it's over, it's over. Am I clear? Asked Hayate as all the genin nodded. After Hayate spoke, the monitor started flying through names until it stopped on Sasuke Uchiha and Yoroi Akato. Will Sasuke Uchiha and Yoroi Akato remain here, will all the other genin move to the platforms that surround the arena floor. Following instructions, all the other genin moved up to the platforms as Sasuke, Yoroi, and Hayate were the only ones left on the arena floor. Hayate coughed a few more times as he looked to each fighter. Are you both ready? Begin, said Hayate as he backed away to give the genin some space. Yoroi twitched slightly, but noticed Sasuke stood motionless besides crossing his arms over his chest. Yoroi moved around a little, but Sasuke still stood with his arms crossed and his Sharingan active. I thought he wouldn't be able to use that without being affected by the curse seal. It doesn't matter, he wouldn't be able to stop my technique, thought Yoroi. Yoroi's left hand began to emit a blue aura of chakra as he took off in a sprint towards Sasuke. Sasuke didn't make a move to defend the still approaching Yoroi. So Yoroi just slammed his hand onto Sasuke's forehead and smashed him into the ground with force. Sasuke's face changed to one of shock as he could feel his chakra leaving him. Yoroi smirked as he realized how easy this victory was. Yes, I have the ability to suck out a person's chakra through my jutsu. You never had a chance, said Yoroi as Sasuke started to struggle with less power. Yoroi thought he had it in the bag until he felt several kunai pierce his body. Yoroi screamed in pain as he looked up to see Sasuke still standing with his arms crossed. He was confused as he looked down to see that Sasuke turned into dust. What is going on? I know I hit you with my technique. I felt your chakra leaving you, said Yoroi, as he began to lose consciousness from blood loss. Seems you don't know about the power of the Uchiha clan. Too bad, said Sasuke, as Yoroi collapsed on the floor unconscious. Hayate looked at Yoroi, and then called it. Shosa, Sasuke Uchiha. With the spectators. I need a Sharingan, said Shikamaru. Naruto stood beside Shikamaru as he looked amused at his comment. Why is that, Shika? Asked Naruto as around them, people were wondering how Sasuke just won. All Sasuke did was lock eyes with him, and he passed out without neither of them moving a muscle. Yoroi didn't even get touched by Sasuke, or even harmed, but still got defeated. If I could do that, beating people by staring, I'd be so happy. If only, said Shikamaru as Naruto burst out laughing. Kakashi decided to quell everyone's questions as he told them about Sasuke's victory. The Sharingan is a powerful doujutsu that allows the user many abilities. One being the ability to cast powerful genjutsu with a mere glance. Sasuke defeated Yoroi in a genjutsu and Yoroi must have passed out from the mental belief of actually losing. That's why Sasuke won without harming Yoroi, or moving for that matter, said Kakashi with a nice smile as a member of his squad passed. Seems his eyes have gotten stronger, did he get his third Tamo? Pondered Kakashi as Sasuke walked up the platform to stand by Naruto. Sasuke smirked at Naruto while walking up with his Sharingan still active. I'll be seeing you later on, it seems, Naruto, said Sasuke, flaunting his improved Sharingan as his Tomo began to spin slightly around his pupil. Maybe. I haven't gone yet, I could lose, said Naruto with a straight face as he stared at Sasuke's straight face as well. They held their poker faces until he and Sasuke started laughing. Don't worry, Sasuke. I'll be there to kick your ass again for the world to see, said Naruto as he heard a voice in his head. A voice he hadn't heard in a while. So the Uchiha boy has a better Sharingan now. Means nothing compared to what I've seen you do, said Kurama in Naruto's head. Kurama, you're back. By the way, you were so right about Fuinjutsu. I got hit by 5 fingers twice and passed out both times. Fuinjutsu is scary, replied Naruto as he heard Kurama laugh. Told you it was. Took the snake to beat some sense into you for you to get my point. I could have kicked his ass, I bet, if I used all of my abilities, said Naruto as Kurama agreed, though it was debatable. Naruto was easily one of the strongest in Konoha when using his chakra and wood-style abilities. But Orochimaru was Orochimaru, one of the Sannin and definitely not a pushover. While Naruto and Kurama were conversing, the board landed on 2 more names. Temari and Tenten. Naruto paid no attention to this match as soon as he saw Tenten firing weapons. It's pointless. Temari-chan is carrying a fan which I'm sure she uses proficiently. She'll just blow all of your projectiles away. Sorry, Tenten, she's your worst matchup, thought Naruto as he saw Temari continue to blow away Tenten's projectiles. Eventually, Temari had enough and finished Tenten by catching her in a tornado of wind that tormented the brown-haired girl. Hayate called it once he saw that it was over. Shosa, Temari. You made that fan look so sexy. I need one in my life, said Naruto loudly, getting a smirk from Temari as she woke back up. After the medics moved Tenten, the names started spinning again. Choji Akamichi vs Shino Aburame. Sucks for Choji. He'll be a big target for Shino's bugs, and since his only techniques involve chakra-induced expansion, he'll lose, thought Naruto. Naruto was proven right as Choji kept smashing into Shino. Though they were only bug clones, which proceeded to empty Choji's reserves after about 2 minutes. Shosa, Shino Aburame. Naruto perked up slightly at the next match, Neji Hyuga vs Hinata Hyuga. Though Naruto became disappointed at Hinata's lack of fight going against her cousin, Neji didn't have that problem as he dismantled Hinata viciously throughout the fight. Though Naruto got fed up at the end, when Neji went for the kill. Neji was stopped a few feet from Hinata by several people. He was locked in a grip from Guy while Kakashi held his left arm and Kurenai held his right. But everyone was surprised to see Naruto in between Hinata and Neji with a fist held firm, inches from Neji's face. Seems the main branch gets special treatment again, said Neji, before he got the chills at Naruto's glare. Neji, I have nothing against you as a person. But for what you did to Hinata-chan here, knowing Hayate would have called the match regardless of her will to fight, is unbecoming of a Konohanin. You better hope I don't see you in the finals as I promise to deal out tenfold to you what you gave to Hinata-chan, said Naruto as he clenched his fist that held a bit of Hinata's blood in it. Neji was taken away shortly afterward by Guy. Hinata was assisted by medics as everyone else returned to the stands. The next fight was between Shikamaru Nara and Sakura Haruno. Many people believed Sakura would have an easy victory against the dead last of his class. However, Naruto knew better. Shikamaru's the smartest person I know. He is only the dead last due to his unwillingness to do schoolwork. I want Sakura to win as her teammate, but Shikamaru's too smart, thought Naruto as Sakura charged Shikamaru and lashed out with punches and kicks. Shikamaru dodged Sakura's attempts as he eventually backed up far enough to place his hands in the ramp seal. Shadow Possession Jutsu, said Shikamaru, once his and Sakura's shadow connected. Shikamaru made Sakura pull out a kunai as he said, Sakura, forfeit. I placed my kunai holster on my left leg before this match started, so as you can see, I'm not holding one. I'm not afraid to make you harm yourself, so give up. Sakura looked dejected as she realized she couldn't stop Shikamaru. So with reluctance, she gave up to keep herself from harm. Shosa, Shikamaru Nar, said Hayate as both Shikamaru and Sakura walked back up the platform. Good job, Sakura, maybe you'll get a better opponent next time. Shikamaru's tough, said Naruto as Sakura smiled slightly. Upon noticing Shikamaru's face, Naruto asked a question. What's up with the face, Shikamaru? Shikamaru sighed. I should have lost. I could have been done with this tournament and slept for the rest of it. Now I'll have to fight again. Troublesome. Hopefully, I don't go against another girl, troublesome, said Shikamaru as he likely jinxed himself. Naruto laughed slightly as he saw the board shift to another pair of names. Konkuro and Misumi Tsurugi. Naruto found the match hilarious when Misumi realized he had been fighting a puppet the whole time. After receiving a bone-crushing hug from said puppet, Misumi was done. Shosa, Konkuro, said Hayate as he looked wary for the next match. Gaara vs Rock Lee. Gaara via Lee. Yosh. Now I can show everyone the power of youth, claimed Lee excitedly. Lee felt a hand clasp his shoulder and looked up to see a blinding smile. Attaboy Lee. Show them that you're in the springtime of youth, claimed Guy just as excited as he patted Lee on the shoulder. Lee did a salute as he leaped down to the arena floor. Gar arrived in Asuna Shunshin, standing with his arms crossed, looking uninterested in Rock Lee or this tournament for that matter. Hayate looked at both competitors as he started the match. Begin, said Hayate as he backed away. Lee took to the beginning stance of the Goken, as Gar popped the cork off his gourd. Sand seeped out of the gourd and surrounded Gar on the ground in a crude circle. Lee, having enough of just standing around, vanished to attack Gar. Gar looked shocked to see his sand blocking Lee's strikes, but not seeing Lee. Is he moving that fast? Questioned Gar as he kept swiveling his head to see sand dispersing after being struck, but no Lee. In the stands, Sasuke handed Naruto 100 Ryu as he said, "Thanks for keeping me from getting my ass whipped before the first exam. That speed is ridiculous." Naruto smirked at Sasuke, who was keeping his Sharingan eyes glued on the match. Seems he's trying to copy Lee. A smart idea, as that's the best taijutsu I've ever seen, thought Naruto watching Lee trying to beat on Gar. "Shikaku," said Kurama in Naruto's head. "Shikaku? As in the Ichibi. He's here? Where is he?" asked Naruto as he kept watching the match. Gar. "Yes. I can feel Shikaku's chakra seeping out of the boy. Not to mention he's from Suna, and Suna's Biju is Shikaku. He's likely the Jinchuriki. Those black marks around his eyes are bags. Shikaku doesn't allow his hosts to sleep, so it's even more likely now." Finished Kurama as Naruto mentally nodded. "Why would Sunagakure send its Jinchuriki to a Chunin exam in a foreign village?" said Naruto as he pondered over it. "I don't know. But be wary of him if you're not using your full power. Jinchuriki, no matter how small the Biju, are extremely dangerous when they're using their Biju's power," said Kurama as Naruto noticed something. "Are you helping me? Seems you aren't that big, scary beast. You're just a fluff. You finish that sentence, I'll kill you," said Kurama dangerously as he cut off Naruto. "Okay, I love you too," said Naruto. "I'm gonna tear you too," started Kurama before Naruto cut the connection to focus on the fight. Arena floor. Sometime during Naruto's inner conversation with Kurama, Lee had taken off some weights and received a huge boost in speed. With his weights off, Lee's speed began even more unbelievable. He was now able to land blows on the Suna Jinchuriki. Despite Lee's powerful blows, Gar's sand armor proved to be durable as he was still standing, and able to fight. Sensing the need for a powerful finisher, Lee resorted to the move designed to beat Neji. "Seems like I'll have to show my trump card." Even after smashing him with the front lotus, it still couldn't defeat him. "I wish I could save it, but I need to put him down with something more powerful," thought Lee as he crossed his arms in an X. "8 inner gates, gate of life release," said Lee. Lee's skin immediately turned red, and a swirl of chakra circled him. "Gate of pain release," said Lee as a green aura surrounded him. Everyone could feel the power emanating from his body. It was incredible. A few moments after Lee said that, he vanished to appear underneath Gar. Lee planted a foot into Gar's chin that sent him sailing in the air. Lee appeared above Gar and looked hellbent on causing harm. Gar's sand shield couldn't keep up as Lee proceeded to bash Gar around multiple times in the air. Eventually, after a dozen or so hits, Lee decided to finish Gar. "Gate of closing release," said Lee as he vanished again to hit Gar with a series of quick gut punches. Before Gar could hit the ground, Lee pulled Gar back up by the bandage wrapped around his waist. "Reverse lotus," said Lee as he hit Gar with an open-handed palm strike and kick at the same time. Gar went crashing to the ground as Lee landed a little ways away. There's no way he could get up from that, thought Lee as his right arm and right leg were in pain from using that last move. The same arm and leg were now in more pain as sand crept up his arm and proceeded to squeeze down on them. "Sand binding coffin," said a weak Gar as his sand crushed Lee's arm and leg. He was trying to move it further around his body, but Guy showed up and quelled that movement. "That's enough," said Guy as he took Lee away to the medics. "Due to an interference, Shosagare," said Hayate, as Gar was grabbed by his sensei and taken back to the platform. His Biju would assist in healing him. "Since there are 3 competitors left, there will be a 3-way fight between Ino Yamanaka, Kiba Inuzaka, and Naruto Senju," said Hayate, as the 3 walked down the steps. "Shit. I got to fight Naruto. I would try to team up with Ino, but I know she'll take his side. Looks like it's me and that Chimera. It's no worries, we've gotten better since the academy, we got this," thought Kiba as he arrived on the destroyed arena floor. "Oh no, I have to fight my husband. Life isn't fair. If I lose, he'll think I'm too weak to be his wife, and he'll never date me. If I win, he'll hate me for embarrassing him. What do I do?" said Ino in a panic over fighting Naruto, totally forgetting that Kiba was fighting as well. "Let's see how good my comrades have gotten," thought Naruto as he got into his ready stance. Ino and Kiba did the same as Hayate lowered his arm. "Begin." Naruto began with a speedy shunshin and planted a powerful punch into Kiba's jaw that rocketed the Inuzaka back to the wall. Naruto then turned to Ino and saw her holding a unique seal. "Mind body switch jutsu," said Ino as she fired her jutsu at the surprised Naruto. Ino's body fell to the ground as her jutsu flew at Naruto. Everyone was then shocked to see Naruto rush over and catch Ino before she fell before eventually setting her down gently. That was easier than I thought. Came the voice of Naruto as everyone became even more shocked. Naruto was hit by Ino's jutsu. With the spectators. Wow, Ino got her jutsu to hit Naruto, said Shikamaru, shocked to see the result. She can make Naruto forfeit. To think Naruto would allow himself to be hit by that jutsu. He knows all about it too. Sasuke looked shocked to see Naruto get struck by that jutsu so easily. Sakura was surprised her rival could catch Naruto off guard like that. Naruto was never caught off guard usually. The Konoha Jonin all looked dreadful as they knew that since Naruto was a Jinchuriki, his Bijuu would be in there with Ino. They feared the worst. Everyone looked hysterical as they saw Naruto tying Ino up with a rope. Back at the arena. Nice try Ino-chan, gotta be a little faster. You almost had me there, said Naruto as he felt Kiba approaching. 2 Kibas. Double piercing fang, said Kiba. He and Akamaru, who was transformed into Kiba, came flying at Naruto in a spinning display of death. Naruto managed to toss Ino back up into the stands to her sensei, right before spinning out of the way of the first Kiba. Naruto tried to evade the second, but received a cut on his hand for his troubles. Almost had you, Naruto. Let's see how good you do when blind, said one of the Kibas as he dropped his smoke bomb. Both Kibas barreled into the smoke in another double piercing fang, to catch Naruto full force this time. Eventually, the smoke cleared, and you could see 3 Kibas standing in a triangle. One of the Kibas smirked as he decked another Kiba with a punch. I can smell you, Naruto. You can't hide from my nose in a simple transformation, said Kiba before realizing there were 2 more Narutos. I knew that, said Naruto with a kunai held to both Kibas' necks. The Kiba that got punched, converted into Naruto, before turning into rocks, signaling in rock clone. Damn it, how did I not smell you until it was too late? Asked Kiba. It's easy to pinpoint my location with your nose. But if I'm underground, I'm sure it makes it tougher to find me through the earth. So, while that cloud of smoke was in the area, I replaced myself with a clone and hid underground. Then popped out to catch you off guard. Give up, said Naruto as he pushed the kunai closer to Kiba's neck. After a forfeit from Kiba, Hayate called the match. Shosa, Naruto Senju. Will all the winners please come down to the arena floor? We have a few announcements, said Hayate. Kiba left the arena floor as Naruto stayed. Sasuke, Temari, Shino, Shikamaru, Neji, Kankuro, and Gaara arrived at the arena floor as Hayate addressed them again. Congratulations. You 8 Genin are the finalists that will compete in the Chunin exam in 1 month. It will be just like this, except we will find out your opponent right now through selection. You will pull a number from the hat and announce what number you received. We will pair you by numbers. Anko brought the hat toward Naruto as he pulled first. 1, said Naruto as Anko brushed past him. I still remember, kid, whispered Anko as her hips brushed up against Naruto's lower regions. Nice package. That lady again. Is this rape? Wait, is it rape? If I like it, thought Naruto, freezing up again as he felt his blood flowing. Naruto would need a cold shower later. Sasuke pulled his card next. 6. Temari, 8. Shino, 5. Shikamaru, 7. Neji, 2. Kankuro, 3. And Gaara received 4 by default. Match 1, Naruto Senju vs Neji Hyuga. Match 2, Kankuro vs Gaara. Match 3, Shino Birame vs Sasuke Uchiha. Match 4, Shikamaru Nara vs Temari. Match 5, winner of match 1 versus winner of match 2. Match 6, winner of match 3 versus winner of match 4. Match 7, winner of match 5 versus winner of match 6. Now that all your opponents have been figured out, use this month to prepare for the finals. Your village will be represented, so fight with that in mind, said Hayate as all the Genin vacated the arena. 1 day later. The next day, Naruto was walking around Konoha, headed to find someone. Naruto was wearing a simple grey long-sleeved shirt with the Senju clan crest on his back, and black pants that connected to his black shinobi sandals. He wasn't wearing his forehead protector at the moment, so his hair was covering his eyes a little. Kakashi had taken Sasuke away into the mountains to prepare him for the finals. Naruto had asked Kakashi for help, but Kakashi informed him that there was already someone capable down by the hot springs, plus they had already called dibs on teaching him. So that's who Naruto was headed to find. Upon arriving at the hot springs front door, Naruto heard a weird noise coming from around the corner. Naruto turned the corner, to see a man with white hair giggling. Before Naruto could say anything, Ibisu appeared and began berating the man. Excuse me, sir, it is improper to peek on the women in the hot springs. I'll have to ask you to leave, said Ibisu as the man never moved. Ibisu noticed the man didn't move, so he went to forcefully remove him. Ibisu reached for the man's collar to grab him and drag him away. However, the man jumped into the air, causing Ibisu to overreach and stumble underneath him. Ibisu was shocked at the man's swift movement as he was then crushed by the sudden appearance of a toad and rendered unconscious. Wow, that was so cool, mister. Was it a summoning? Asked an excited Naruto as he approached the man. "Oh ho, so, you like what you see, huh?" asked the man as he turned to face Naruto. He was a tall man with waist-length specky white hair tied back into a ponytail, with 2 shoulder-length bangs that framed both sides of his face. He had red lines that ran down from his eyes, and wore a horned forehead protector with a kanji for oil. He also had a noticeable wart on the left side of his nose. The man wore a green short shirt kimono and matching pants, under which he wore mesh armor that showed out of the sleeves and legs of his outfit. His outfit was completed with handguards, a simple black belt, traditional Japanese wooden sandals, a red haori with 2 simple yellow circles on each side, and a scroll on his back. Naruto recognized the man immediately. He had his suspicions when he saw the toad, but the oil forehead protector cleared all doubt. "You're," said Naruto before he was cut off. "I am Iboku Mountain's monk of the Toad Spears, also known as the Toad Sage. Jiraiya of the Saanin," claimed Jiraiya as his toad disappeared. Naruto had stars in his eyes as he looked at the sage. "You're better than what I've read about. You taught the 4th Hokage, who is my hero. But I never pictured you to be a pervert," said Naruto, a little perverted. Jiraiya looked slightly shocked to see Naruto be perverted. Sadly, Naruto didn't know the first rule of peeking, no loud talking. Inside the baths, one woman said, "Pervert, there's a pervert outside." "Ah. Geez, they figured out I was peeking. But I'm not a pervert," said Jiraiya. "I'm a super pervert," boasted Jiraiya proudly. "Right? Well, Kakashi-sensei said there was someone here that would oversee my training for the month. Are you that person? If so, could you please train me for the finals?" asked a hopeful Naruto. "Heh, the kid looks exactly like Minato does. Except he has his mother's eyes. He even knows how to ask for training. Why not see what he can do? But I need lunch," thought Jiraiya before he said, "Buy me lunch every day I train you, and I'm in." Naruto pulled out his toad wallet, affectionately named Gama-chan. After opening it, he proceeded to cry at how much money he'd lose over the month, but it'd be worth it. 2 hours later. "Hey kid, you should definitely hit that," said Jiraiya to Naruto as he and Naruto exited a Dango restaurant. Naruto's face turned red as he remembered the incident. Flashback. 40 minutes ago. "So you're telling me pancakes are better than waffles?" asked Jiraiya as he finished giving his order. "Yes, I could eat pancakes all day. Especially with blueberry syrup," said Naruto as he and Jiraiya were conversing. Naruto and Jiraiya were already talking like good friends, after only knowing each other for an hour. Naruto was about to continue speaking until he paused and twitched a little. "Your hot chick sense is going off too?" asked Jiraiya, as he felt a beautiful woman approaching due to his own sensing abilities. Naruto went red in the face as he felt Anko arrive, literally. She appeared sitting in his lap with the kunai to his neck. Anko greeted Jiraiya. "Hello Jiraiya-sama, I see you're hanging out with the brat." "Indeed, I am Anko-san. It seems you need a moment, I'll be back," said Jiraiya as Anko thanked him. Naruto was mouthing "help me" to Jiraiya as he left Naruto alone. Jiraiya only held both thumbs up as he disappeared around the corner. "If you needed help Naruto-kun, you could have just asked. I'll definitely assist you with anything," said Anko as she looked back toward Naruto. She then looked down. "Anything," said Anko, a little suggestive. It took all of Naruto's willpower to keep himself from reacting to Anko. Naruto and Jiraiya's dango arrived as Anko took a stick from Naruto's plate. "Seems you're better than I thought. But I'll get you, brat. Just you wait," said Anko. She placed the dango in her mouth seductively as she slowly ground her way out of Naruto's lap. "Bye Anko-chan," said Naruto as he sat frozen. "She's still not wearing underwear," thought Naruto as Jiraiya sat back down. "Have a nice talk, Naruto?" asked Jiraiya with a smirk. Naruto merely nodded as he ate the rest of his dango in silence. Flashback end. "I have to learn how to handle those situations better," said Naruto as Jiraiya laughed. "We'll add that to your training, brat," said Jiraiya as Naruto, and he arrived at a training ground. "Naruto, before we start, give me a rundown of your abilities." "Okay, well I am pretty good at all the shinobi arts. I've been told ninjutsu's my favorite. Taijutsu, I'm still using the basic academy style, but I'm not shabby at it due to my speed. Genjutsu, I know how to dispel them, and I can cast a few. Though I rarely use them on any ninjas as they can be broken easily. Ninjutsu comes easy to me as I have 3 chakra natures. I have a pretty nice arsenal of jutsu, but I do need some heavy hitters. I'm a level 3 Fuinjutsu user and that's pretty much it," said Naruto until he saw Jiraiya laugh slightly. "Kid, I'm Konoha's spymaster. I know all about your abilities, even your untold abilities," said Jiraiya as leaned in to whisper, "Milky-ton and Dakayobi. You're quite the special kid." Naruto had a shocked face as only Kakashi, Tenzo, and Hiruzen knew about both of those. "I should have known you'd know. Yes, I can use Milky-ton and about 1 tail of my Bijuu's chakra." "Great. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to your training. Since you have ninjutsu down and I suck at genjutsu, we'll focus mainly on taijutsu and even fuinjutsu, as I'm a level 8 seal master. That'll only be with your time with me. I'm sure your other sensei will help you with your ninjutsu. Though I may show you a few special jutsu of mine," Since you don't have a taijutsu style, I'm going to teach you Toad Fist. It's taijutsu only used by Toad summoners, said Jiraiya as he paused for Naruto to catch his drift. It took Naruto a few seconds to understand Jiraiya. I'm gonna be a Toad summoner. But why would you choose me? Asked Naruto, confused at Jiraiya's intentions. They had just met. What made him so special? Well, it's been a while since I've had an apprentice. I'm getting old and I've been watching you. You seem perfect to become a Toad summoner, said Jiraiya as he pulled out a scroll. All you have to do is draw a little blood and write your name in this space here. Place all 5 fingers here, and you're golden, said Jiraiya as Naruto did all the required steps. Naruto noticed he placed his name next to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. I have a new title to add to my name. I am Naruto Senju, future Hokage, Ramen Connoisseur, and Toad Summoner of Konoha, said Naruto as he puffed his chest out a little bit. Not exactly. You first have to summon the Toad boss, and get his approval. To summon, you need to bite your thumb to draw blood, perform these hand seals, boar, dog, bird, monkey, ram, and slam your palm onto his surface, while channeling a huge amount of chakra, said Jiraiya before he continued with, you may not get it on your first summoning jutsu, said Naruto, cutting off Jiraiya as a huge plume of smoke appeared. Jiraiya, why did you summon me? Asked a huge red toad wearing a blue vest carrying a huge sword. The toad also had a pipe in his mouth. Hello, I am Naruto Senju. I was the one who summoned you. Would you happen to be the chief toad? Said Naruto as he leaped off the toad's head to land in front of him. The toad looked down at Naruto and almost had a heart attack. Is this Minato's kid? He's grown up so big. And he seems like a capable shinobi. Where is Jiraiya? I have a few questions for him, thought the toad before he spoke. He summoned me. Heh, well what do you want as I am the toad chief, Gamabunta, said Gamabunta. Naruto smiled slightly as he said, well I was told that I needed your permission to become an official toad summoner. So how do I go about doing that? Do I ask or is there a requirement? PFFT, this kid. If he's Minato's kid then of course, but why not mess with him? Thought Gamabunta as he said, of course you can be a toad summoner. If you share a drink with me. A drink? Heh, he has to be 20 to drink alcohol. He'll probably panic about being too young too. Thought Gamabunta until he was cut off by Naruto. You supplying? Said Naruto, completely willing to go along with it. Gamabunta looked shocked for a second until he smiled. Summon me back in 15 minutes, said Gamabunta as he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Jiraiya peeked his head around from a nearby tree as he said, I heard y'all were drinking. 1 month later, the next month passed quickly as Naruto was headed toward Konoha Stadium, where the Chunin exam finals were being held. Naruto was wearing clothing similar to an Anbu as it was a gift from Tenzo. Tenzo had given Naruto the outfit when he visited him last week. Naruto was clad in a black t-shirt, black Anbu-style pants with Anbu-style sandals on. He also had on a grey flak jacket like Konoha Anbu. To complete his outfit were matching grey arm guards with black forearm warmers underneath. He wore his forehead protector around his forehead like normal as he walked into the stadium. He was halted from going farther as he was directed to the area for the finalists. Yo, sup Shino? Ready for today, said Naruto to the only other person there at the moment. Hello, Naruto-san. I believe I'm adequately prepared for the fights. Are you ready for the finals? Responded Shino in kind. Naruto smiled slightly. Of course I am. This day means a lot for me, said Naruto, thinking about learning about his parents. Naruto conversed with Shino a little more until he felt a trio appearing. Temari-chan, Konkuro, and Gaara, said Naruto as the trio walked in. Konkuro grunted in response. Temari smiled a sweet smile at Naruto in return. Gaara looked toward Naruto warily. Gaara was eyeing Naruto as he was talking to Temari. Gaara eventually interrupted Naruto's flirting with Temari with a statement. Mother says to be wary of you. She wants you to die, if possible, said Gaara as Naruto heard Kurama laugh. Kid thinks Shikaku is a girl. Ha, that's perfect, said Kurama, laughing with Naruto mentally. Kurama had told Naruto about the other Biju. Their gender was also brought up, and Shikaku was considered a boy. Well maybe. But you never know. You could be dangerous as well, it should be, said Naruto as the Sand trio gasped. He knows about Gaara. How much does he know? Does he know about the war? I need to tell sensei. Thought Temari as her blush immediately left at hearing Naruto say it should be. Luckily Shikamaru came in and captured Naruto's attention with a greeting. The third Hokage began speaking to the crowd as well, since you could hear his voice emanate through the walls. A few moments later, Sasuke walked in to complete the group of finalists. Naruto took notice of Sasuke's clothing as it was identical to his own. Sasuke was clad in the same outfit as Naruto, except his shirt had a high collar. Naruto fist bumped Sasuke as he said, would have thought you'd make a flashy entrance. Hey-chan. We were going to until Kakashi got a message from the Hokage saying we had to show up on time, said Sasuke. Nice clothes, said Naruto. Seems you got the same thing as me. I'm guessing Kakashi told you about it. Sasuke smirked, yeah, I got the Anbu invite as well. We get to wear the uniforms to practice fighting in them. Yeah, they're pretty comfy. You seem rather confident. Good training month. Sasuke activated his Sharingan as he said, more than ready to whip your ass in the finals. If you even make it past Neji and most likely, Gar. Naruto smiled slightly. We'll see, she knows no pushover. Good luck with that. You better make it to the finals, said Naruto as he heard the stadium scream with a cheer as the third Hokage finished speaking. Seemed it was starting. Stadium floor. Hello, and welcome to the Chunin exams. I am Genma Shiranui, and I will be the proctor for today's event, said Genma, as the crowd erupted into cheers. Everybody please keep your cheers to a minimum as we introduce our finalists. One by one the Genin walked out into the stadium. From Tsunagakure, Tamari, Konkuro, and Gar, said Genma as each Genin came out after one another when their name was called. Hailing from Konohagakure, Shino Byurame. The cheers got a little louder as Konoha was being introduced. Shikamaru Nar. Neji Hyuga. The crowd erupted as the Hyugas were a prevalent clan in Konoha. Sasuke Uchiha. The crowd went even wilder as their golden boy was introduced. Naruto Senju, said Genma as it seemed the crowd somehow got louder. Naruto looked astounded at the cheers. His eyes pondered to the Hokage as Hiruzen gave a smile. It seemed Hiruzen had gotten word around town about Naruto. And indeed, he did. Konoha had been informed about Wave, who made Konoha their main trading partners, definitely boosting their economy. The claim of Naruto being the hero of Wave was prevalent, as to why Konoha received such a trade partner, and the populace now knew. They were definitely grateful for that. Even a rumor had spread, also from Hiruzen, that since Naruto's body was that of a Senju's, the Kyuubi was perfectly tamed inside him. Naruto being a Senju had the power to tame the Kyuubi, so the rumors say. People began to believe that Naruto was indeed a hero, just like the fourth had wanted. It only took since Naruto became a Senju, 3 years ago, up until this point for it to spread to the entire populace. Naruto never noticed the shift in people's views as he was focused on training and missions with Team 7. He was so happy, and Naruto made a mental note to thank Hiruzen later. All he ever wanted was the village's admiration, and this was exactly how his dreams started. Get ready kid, you and the Hyuga are up first, said Genma silently to Naruto. Genma then spoke up loud to address the crowd. The first match of this Chunin exams finals is between Naruto Senju and Neji Hyuga. Will these fighters stay here while the rest wait in the finalists' box? Listening to instructions. Only Naruto, Neji, and Genma remained on the field, as the rest of the group moved to the finalists' box. Are both fighters ready? Said Genma as both nodded. First match of the Chunin exams, begin. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed. If you want a next part of this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification, and also check out the other videos that I have created, and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.